We ask investors to support our proposal as it will hopefully shine some light on why Gap has joined with other corporations in vilifying religious freedom. In response to religious freedom measures in Indiana and Arkansas, Gap claimed that such efforts, quote, legalize discrimination, and that, quote, these new laws and legislation that allow people and businesses to deny service to people based on their sexual orientation turn back the clock on equality and foster a culture of intolerance. That's not true at all. The federal government and 31 states have heightened religious freedom laws already. These laws say that the government should not interfere with an individual's religious freedom unless doing so is necessary to reach an important government goal. Next, they say that if the government can reach this important goal in a way that doesn't abridge their religious freedom, it should choose that other method. That's it. The Federal Religious Freedom Restoration Law was co-authored by Senator Ted Kennedy and signed into law by President Bill Clinton. The Indiana and Arkansas measures imitated those laws. Did Gap speak out against the Clinton-Kennedy Federal Religious Freedom Law? I don't think so. Corporations and the mainstream media have recently expressed concern that religious freedom laws will somehow lead to discrimination against homosexuals. There's zero evidence for this concern. These laws only require the government to avoid interfering with religious freedom if it can do so while achieving important government goals. One of these goals, of course, and established law in every state of the union, is outlawing discrimination. Last year, Gap also joined in a legal brief supporting the Obama administration's lawsuit against North Carolina's so-called bathroom bill. Again, the company's position distorted the issues. The DOJ was actually seeking authority to rewrite bedrock foundational federal law in violation of the U.S. Constitution's basic separations of power. While many in this room would likely have little problem with the Obama administration revising federal law, they would scream bloody murder if President Trump gave himself the sole authority to rewrite federal statutes. But that's exactly the type of power he would now have if the DOJ lawsuit that Gap supported proceeded. In response to our proposal, the company's board claimed that, quote, we do not believe exiting certain regions protects or enhances human rights. On the contrary, local engagement protects and improves human rights. Where is your engagement on the local level to the level that you used in Indiana, Arkansas, and North Carolina, or your cries of religious discrimination in nations where Gap operates that actually persecute homosexuals and give women few, if any, rights? It's hard to take the company's statement at face value, since the far-left movement that Gap is a major part of has actually called for economic boycotts of states such as Indiana and North Carolina over the same legislative efforts that Gap opposes. Our proposal simply asks management to prepare a report identifying Gap's criteria for operating in regions with significant and systematic human rights violations. If the company is worried about basic religious freedom laws in the U.S., then we must question why the company operates in regions with actual discrimination and human rights atrocities. Please join me in supporting Proposal 6.
Thank you. The board has reviewed this proposal and given it careful consideration. The company's proxy statement contains a careful and thorough response to this proposal. And based on the reasons cited, and as further described in the company's proxy statement, the board of directors opposes the adoption of this resolution. The board does not believe it is in the best interest of the company or its shareholders and recommends a vote against Proposal 6.